really excited because I heard your name many times. You were in Montreal. And yes, I didn't get the chance to shake your hand in person, but I know that you influence a lot of people around, and the lambe lambe thing is something really special. But I want you to introduce yourself for the community who is watching. So yeah.
Yeah, so, and I've seen your show, just to say that I've seen your Cirque du Soleil. So, yes, I've seen you perform. Wow, I'm multidisciplinary artist, as we say, like in Montreal and here too. And I've started actually in the music really young, at really young age. So I learned the piano and too many years of lyric singing and then theater. And then most recently, like the puppetry just boom, it came like into a passion into my life. And I feel like if puppetry, then puppets have like really chosen me. I think people say that, but it's actually true. And sometimes I say that I have never imagined I would become a puppeteer, but it's not actually true because like recently my mother just found a picture. I moved now to the south of Brazil like during the pandemic, and then I just received my boxes of pictures. And then my mom said, there's a picture of you like playing the piano. And then when I looked at it, I always had like a little puppet, really small puppet with me, like a miniature. Yes. And then I just realized that actually they have always been in my life. It's just that I have never like thought of it. But then one day, boom, and then yes, I'm a puppeteer, a Brazilian puppeteer.
That's so cool. That's true that we discover those kind of crush moment that we get for the art form. Sometimes like we rewind. So that's part of the deep question of the Puppet podcast. So Nina, I will ask you if you are ready in a second, but I just want to let you know that we have some people who know your work who have watching. So Jay watch and he talk about the name of your show, Le Cœur.
Oui, ConCordis le cœur, ConCordis the heart. Oh, Patrice, hello.
Yeah, so it's really cool to have you guys during the interview, and feel free to keep chatting with us as you are watching. So let's go for the deep question of the Puppet podcast. Ready?
Yes, let's go for it.
I want to start with the crush, as you were talking when you were a kid with this picture. I want to know your crush moment. Like, it could be the first time you get this passion, but also if you have a specific moment where you get like the spark of puppetry.
Yeah. So yeah, then when I was a kid, I always had like little puppets with me, and I would play. But there is a moment. It was 2015. I think it was January, February. So there's this company, this Franco-Brazilian company, and it is called Dos à Deux, Arthur and André. And they're fantastic. They work like with gestual theater. But then I went to the theater, and the story is true. I don't usually wear my glasses, but I'm foresighted. And then I was in the theater. It's so true. And then I kept like looking at the folder with the names of the casting. And I have like this friend at the time, and said, like, Antonio, like, who plays the old lady? And then I kept like, wow, that's fascinating. Oh, look at her eyes. She moves really like slowly, but then my attention, like, she catch my attention. Who plays the old lady? Can't find her name. And then he just looked at me and said, oh, come on, Nina, just stop it. Like, it's a puppet. And I said, like, what? And then I didn't have my glasses, and then I have this thing that I do, and my mom always hates that I do, but then I started like, oh my God, it's a puppet. And it's so true, Caroline. It was like a question about something that, like, boom. And then I went home, and I'm like that. when I got like when I fall in love with something, when I got this crush on something, then I can't sleep and I can eat. Like I get obsessed. And then I went home and I just thought like I have to do a puppet. And I was like for 5 years. I have to say that no, it was like 3 years at the time. I was making this research on Toulouse-Lautrec, the French painter, the 19th century French painter. And I found that when I played the women that he drew, it was really nice. Then the singers, the dancers, and oh yes, really nice. But when I played him, it was like too caricatural. And then I then this idea came like, what if Toulouse-Lautrec was a puppet? The next thing, can you imagine? Like, I think 1 month and a half later, I found myself in Chile for 2 months. I don't know how I was selected because I have never built until that moment a puppet. But then I just did like the first artistic residence, résidence artistique, like a laboratory of artists from all over the world, from Natasha Belova and Tita Jacobelli that now have the Belova Jacobelli company. They're so great. And then we spent like 2 months in Chile, and I have never done. It was my first puppet. Toulouse-Lautrec is there. His head is there. And then I discovered that I had these abilities, and I just dived like in this fascinated universe that is puppetry. And since then, it went like many things happened, and I'm here.
Wow, it's such an interesting story to get from this obsession and this like surprise. It's so cool. And let me ask you the why. The other deep question is what makes the art of puppetry an art that you cherish?
Well, and then 2 years later, I went to Montreal. And I'm going to answer your question, but just telling this because when I arrived in Montreal, so I got 2 scholarships like from the Quebec government.
Yeah.
I didn't know that it was possible. I didn't enroll for it. I thought it was a mistake, actually, to be true. My stories are all crazy. That's why I say puppetry have chosen me like puppets. But anyway, so I went to Montreal to specialize because they have a great course at Le 2SS on contemporary puppetry and at UQAM, the Université du Québec à Montréal. But I think that puppetry is a universe in itself. And I realized that the more I studied it, and when I arrived in Montreal, I discovered that I had a different approach to puppetry. And that's the interesting thing. And I keep doing researches like theoric and also practical, of course, all the time. But I do theoretical research like independently because for me, it's not just entertainment. It can be, and I know like really wonderful puppeteers that work like that. But for me, I work like a little bit different. I believe that there are stories and there are characters and some, let's say, like energies, why not, that want to like win and to gain life, to be animated. So for me, it's more like a ritual, like this moment. And if you are generous enough, you let something pass, and then there's this spark that merges into this thing. And then from that moment, this thing gains life. But I also believe in the ritual of presence, of being there. It's symbiosis of you and the puppet. And I know that's not like that for everyone. So, but I think it's a ritual. But it can also be entertainment. And I think the difference between manipulating and animating. But that's their concepts and things. But I truly believe that when the puppeteer is generous, that when I say generous, it's like the puppeteer doesn't put himself or herself in front, like I'm a virtuosis. Like, no, it's just like allows this thing to come and then plays with it, because
Uh-huh.
it's this relation
Yeah.
between the puppet and the puppeteer, or the object or the thing and the being. I believe that there is a magic that goes, like, really, that happens, that can happen. It's not always that happens, but when it happens, you know. And also the audience also projects. So this magic, I believe, happens like between the puppeteer, the being, and the audience too.